had a new client consultation, and
Okay.
it was really fun because I was kind of talking to her and she was asking some questions, and she was like, I got to be honest, I listened to the podcast, so I already know kind of like your vibe, and I already know that you're going to be really like honest and transparent with me.
I love that.
And it
That's
was
sick.
It was really like cool, and I was like, oh, all right, like,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like it made the whole conversation feel more comfortable because she already knows
you.
me and like the style, and you're either like into the transparency and the
Or you're
honesty,
not.
or you're not.
Yeah,
So
100%.
it's good. I should almost make
yeah.
every like new client
You have to be subscribed
listen.
and listen. Yes,
Make sure you can
exactly.
handle my personality before you hire me.
Seriously. No, well, what was it? I think it was like maybe last month. Someone came up. It was a wedding that I was shooting, but it wasn't with Pop the Champagne.
Yeah.
So, but they had been watching the podcast.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh my gosh, like I feel like I know you already.
Yeah.
Like I love the podcast." Meanwhile, they had never told me that they even watched the podcast. So I was like, "Oh, you watch it? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
We've got
cool. This is
secret
great."
super
Yeah.
fans. Secret super fans. Speaking
We
of
do.
which,
Oh yeah, welcome to Weddings Uncensored, where we drink and talk and talk and drink. I'm Kyle.
and I'm Allie, and we are here breaking down the good, the bad, and the downright crazy of this whole wedding industry. And
Cheers.
cheers, because we are celebrating today.
Today,
We just found out that last week.
last week.
Well, I guess
Technically, you're
this
watching
week.
next week's episode, but today, as
Basically,
of April 2nd,
we have completed 50 podcast episodes.
Woo!
Woo! Cheers.
Cheers.
It's an accomplishment because apparently only like 10% of all podcasts make it past or make it to 50.
Yeah,
So
I think 9 sounds better because it's in the single digits.
It was
and
like 9
might
or
be
11% or something
but
like
I'm just
that.
gonna say 9.
You get the idea.
You can look it up yourself.
Basically, almost nobody can do
Yeah.
what we did.
We are in the top 20% of podcasts in the entire world.
top 90%. No, I don't know. And math was never
I don't
our strong
know.
suit. Good thing this is
Maybe.
not a math podcast.
No, you're right. It is 90%. We're in the top 10%.
Oh, okay. You're right. Anyways.
You were right. I was wrong.
Anyways. We're proud of
Oh my
ourselves, and
God.
we're grateful to
You.
all of our wonderful listeners and
Yo.
viewers.
Yes.
Thanks for keeping us
Making me
busy.
cry.
Thanks for keeping us busy. And to commemorate, well, actually, no, because we're so disorganized that we didn't even know that we did our 50th episode.
Until today,
This
yeah.
topic has nothing to do with that, but I'm just going to
Nope.
pretend. To commemorate, we will be talking about how to be a good wedding guest today. So
okay.
you can listen to this episode and then
Yes.
send it to your Uncle fucking Jerry.
Or send it add this video to a link on your website so
Yeah.
people know how to
That's
be a good
idea.
guest.
Put it on your wedding
Yes,
website. I like
please.
that. Tell Tia that her iPad is not welcome.
And Tio.
Yeah.
Yes. Tia and Tio. You are not, no iPad, no phone, actually. Yeah. None of it during the ceremony, please.
Yes. Well, yeah. And I think it's interesting because, like, people kind of know their crowd. Like, if I'm talking to my couples beforehand, whether we're coordinating or planning bar or something, it's always like, well, you know, you kind of know the vibe. Like, these people are going to rage, or
Yes.
my friends don't really dance, so let's come up with something else.
Yeah.
Or
like
my
family doesn't drink, or my family
Right.
does drink.
Or my
you
family's
know?
always late. Like really fucking late. So we need to plan
They're on that
accordingly, you
CPT.
know?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's good to kind of know your people and incorporate that in your planning and keep your
Yes.
expectations clear.
Yes.
Because we do talk about a lot. Like, people are not going to change just because you are planning a wedding.
No.
So make sure you are planning around those people.
Yes, seriously.
Or just elope.
Yeah, I mean, it's think of it this way: you are hosting an event for toddlers,
Yes.
host-
Drunk toddlers.
drunk, crazy toddlers. They don't know where they need to walk. They don't know where to park. They don't know where to go. They don't know where the bathroom is. They want to get fed. They want drinks. They want candy. You're all fucking toddlers, you know?
So true. It's so true.
Yes.
And I do find that people are very well-meaning. Like guests will be, right? Like they're trying to maybe go by some kind of etiquette that is really old school, or they don't want to offend anybody, so they'll ask a lot of questions and things like that. And it's just like, people just kind of become idiotic and can't figure shit out.
Yeah.
So you do have to spell it out for them.
Yes.
So we're going to spell it out today.
We got you. Here are some tips from Weddings Uncensored about how to be a good wedding guest.
How to be a good wedding guest. So we'll start with RSVPing. The first part of being a guest is probably getting that invitation.
You should probably get the invite
and
in the mail.
Or email.
Email.
There's a lot of digital
Or
invites these
text.
days.
But you know what you can do as soon as you get that invite? You can open up your calendar with your potential significant other. If you've gotten a +1, then you can verify,
RSVP.
can you go
Yep.
or can you not go?
Yeah.
And then you send the invite and you don't have to worry about it anymore.
Sounds so simple.
So that's all you have to do.
It sounds so simple. Why can people not RSVP on time?
Just give it like 48 hours. 48 hours. You should be able to know whether you can or can't do something in a year.
You probably already know. But people just take the invite, they put it up on their fridge, and then they think, oh, I'll get back to this later or whatever. So, yes, RSVPing on time. I mean, I can't tell you what a struggle it is for our couples that are hounding people, trying to get their RSVPs. If the RSVP also asks for like a meal choice, make sure you fill that out. If the RSVP specifies that you have a +1 or that your family is invited, meaning your children, great. But if not, don't RSVP for people who were not invited.
You hear that? That was tip number 2. Don't RSVP.
Do it on time and do it only for the people that were invited.
There we go.
Do not assume that you were given a +1. Do not assume that your children are invited because more than often they're not.
True. So if it doesn't clarify or if it doesn't specify, then I would say don't.
Yeah.
Like if your name is on there and it doesn't say +1.
Yeah.
Assume you are not able to bring a +1. And if you would like to bring a +1, I like as the couple, I would rather you ask than go invite somebody and then come to me and say, oh, is it okay if I invite Allie?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's $150 per person.
Right?
I don't even know this person, you know?
And there's a lot of reasons that people might not be adding a +1 or inviting children or something like that. It might be budget. It might be space. It might be there's so many things. And if you respect the couple and their wishes, like you should play along with that.
It also, this kind of goes into what could be tip number 3. The wedding is not about you.
Yeah.
The wedding is about the couple.
Right.
And if, let's say, Stephanie and Kyle are getting married and all of a sudden, we'll call his name Kevin. Kevin comes into the picture and Kevin wants to bring Sarah. Sarah and Stephanie have never gotten along, but Kyle and Kevin are good. I am not going to tell Kevin to bring Sarah to said wedding.
Exactly.
The wedding is not about Sarah. It's not about Kevin. It's about Kyle and Stephanie.
Yep.
If Stephanie's going to freak out about one wedding guest, guess what? Sarah ain't fucking coming.
Right.
So.
And maybe Kyle is avoiding having that conversation with Kevin about how Stephanie hates his girlfriend. And so like,
don't make me have that conversation.
Yeah. So there could be a lot of things going on there, but that makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, just being respectful of that. And I know it's hard, like especially if there's travel involved, if there's hotels involved, you got family going, but it's better to just, I would think it's better to just bow out and say no or whatever than to put up a big stink and be the only person that's allowed to bring their kid because you threw a big enough fucking fuss about it that you've, demanded this, in.
Mm-hmm.
So, just better to say no. In my opinion.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What else on the invite will there be? A dress code probably?
Yeah. So meal selection, if that's on there, do, make sure you're actually filling that out as well.
Don't forget to fill it out.
Yeah. Some people will ask for some more fun stuff like song choices and things like that. They're trying to include you, you're going there to witness this celebration and it's not about you.
Yep.
It's not about you.
On the RSVP, just a general question. What if people have allergies and they see the menu options and they are unable to have any of those options.
Yeah.
What should a wedding guest say or do in that situation?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And that should be on there as well. I think especially because we're, in Southern California and there's so many dietary restrictions.
Allergic to something.
Yeah, it's a lot of do you want chicken or fish? And then do you have any dietary restrictions they'll actually say.
Okay.
But for sure, if that's something that you want to clarify that you're vegan or kosher or whatever, that's a really good place to put it. And certainly better to tell them then when you show up And
I forgot.
Oh my God, that's actually a really.
I just turned pescatarian.
That's actually a really, really important one. Yeah, and are you like, do you prefer to eat gluten-free or do you have celiac?
Yeah.
Because those are
There we
very different things.
You can suck it up for a night.
Yeah,
okay?
can you suck it
It
up?
is a free meal. Suck it up.
Know that, I'm like serious when I look at the camera. Know that the catering and organizing of all of the meal choices and making sure that the vegan plate gets to the right table is quite a production. Like, this is not a restaurant. We're building out mobile kitchens. We've got staff that's just there for the day. So be respectful. And if you just don't want to eat dairy, does not mean that you cannot eat dairy. And there are two different things.
Yes. So list allergies. Assume you either break out in hives or you die.
Yeah. Are you going to die?
Go ahead and write that down. If your taste buds don't like it, don't write that down.
Go fuck yourself.
Today is not about you.
And it's not about you. And if you like cheese or not.
We're going to have a bunch of moments today of just, today's not about you.
And yeah, I'm like, if you're really like got some kind of crazy like dietary restrictions, so like you're truly allergic, like those people, you do know they bring their own food. Usually they'll have a granola bar ready.
They have their own utensils
yes,
too. Yeah,
yes,
they're
they know,
ready to go. They're
but
ready
yeah,
to
so
go.
the next piece would definitely be dress code.
Okay.
So this is all preparing, right? We're not at the wedding yet. Dress code can vary. That could mean it's black tie, it's semi-formal, it's cocktail attire. But
It's
nowadays,
Hawaiian themed.
well, that's what I was going to
It's
say.
Disney themed.
Nowadays, though, the big trend is guest dress codes or recommendations as far as style, theme, colors.
Okay.
So it used to just be like, how formal is this wedding, right? Do you wear a sport coat or a tie? But now we're getting people say it's tiki chic or Palm Springs resort wear fabulous. I don't know. Whatever. That was not a good example.
Palm Springs batch party.
Yeah. Wear bikinis. I don't know. Yeah. Or just as simple as all the guests wear black or nobody wear black or whatever. So, don't be the guy that shows up in jeans when it was supposed to be black tie. Like, this is, again, not about you. I cannot believe the girls in their like Vegas club dresses.
I feel like for the girls, you just have to be beyond specific. For guys, I feel like it's pretty easy. Dress formal, pretty most of the time.
But there's always some uncle or somebody that's got his like jeans and a baseball hat on.
But you know what? I mean, yeah, sure. Like if it says a black tie, then wear the black tie. I feel like most cases where I see dress code issues is usually the females.
Yeah.
And it's usually the females that are like,
they've made it about them. Yep. They've made it about them.
This event.
Yep.
Like
1,000%.
even though those peacocks are actually male.
The pretty ones.
The pretty ones are actually male.
Look at you with the fun nature facts. They kind of go, wah. It's like a cry.
I'm going to find
Don't be peacocking.
There we go.
Don't be peacocking around at someone else's wedding. It's not about you. Okay, that's
not
that's
about
the theme.
You.
But yeah, like the girls that wear these little ass club dresses, and this is coming from someone who likes to wear skanky clothing, okay? So this does not come from a place of judgment.
Yeah.
This comes from a place of let the couple be the star. Like, why do you have to outshine everybody? It's wild
the
to me.
attention is supposed to be on the bride, unless the bride says, please, I want all attention on all of you. So please dress bohemian chic.
Yeah.
And I'm going to dress just like you,
Right. And it should go without saying to not wear white. But I guess I have to say it because
Just
people are
don't
still
do
doing it.
Don't. If it doesn't say on the invitation, you can wear white.
Yeah.
Don't wear white.
Just don't do it.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
I feel like for guys, sometimes I think about this as a vendor. Sometimes I want to wear like black or the navy blue or the tan, But sometimes I think I'm like, oh, wait, I don't know the color of the bridal party. And then most of the time I just say, fuck it. And I'm going to wear whatever I want to wear. And I'm not wearing white. That's the biggest thing. But I feel like for guys, I don't even think it's necessary. You don't even have to ask the question of, can I wear X color? Just wear whatever you says in the dress code of like the type of attire. Don't worry so much about the color. Seriously, it's a waste of time.
It's a waste of time. Especially if you're a vendor, they really don't care.
Yeah, seriously.
I think most vendors just wear black.
You're
talking about as a guest. Yeah.
Just a guy in general too.
Yeah, so just dress appropriately, people. Yeah. Oh, and if it's like at a ranch, don't wear your stilettos. Oh my God, the amount of guests that are coming up to me or like, I didn't know it was gonna be cold. Like, be a fucking grown up.
Do you know how to open it? You don't have to open up your phone. Hey Siri, what's the weather today?
Expect some clear skies today. Daytime temperatures will hover around 74 degrees, with overnight lows around 48.
So that sounds like you should bring a jacket.
Wow. You know how hard that was to figure out what I should and shouldn't wear today? Jesus. Be a little smart. Again, we're dealing with toddlers, though.
Again.
Toddlers, they forget sometimes parents forget the toddler's jackets, too, to be fair.
Everyone's
but
forgetting.
Please, just look at the weather.
Yeah, the dress code's definitely a thing. Also, pre-wedding, kind of based off of the invitation, is gifts, right? So typically, registries are still a thing. Yes. I would say more than often than not, the weddings that we do still have registries.
Target and Amazon.
Target, Amazon, or traditional registries. We're seeing a lot more just like online registries and a lot more cash registries, essentially. So if you are a guest and you see like a honeymoon fund or something like that, it'll have it broken down like you're buying a gift. So it'll be like, buy this massage for 2 or buy our hotel room for a night or buy our airfare. Really, you're just sending them that unspecified amount of money and it's all going into one big fund for them. But it feels cuter. It feels cuter to buy them a massage for 2 than just to be like, here's $200. Also, cash is pretty much always accepted and okay.
You know, in my book, cash is king.
Exactly.
I can't get mad at anyone that says, here's some money.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No one's gonna be mad about it. Don't feel like you were lazy or whatever. Yeah. They would rather have that. But if you are gonna buy them a real gift, make sure it's something off their registry. Yeah. If they're asking for cash and you come in with a mailbox or a toaster oven
that's real specific.
That was from The Office. Do you remember that? No. She has like I can't remember. It's like a bird shaped like mailbox or something, and they're like, oh, thanks. Yeah, just give the people what they want, I guess.
Sounds
and
good.
I'm coming from a place of like, I say a little hesitancy because there are couples that, for me, just straight up asking for cash
is weird.
Yeah. Like
I'd rather ask for a money dance.
Yeah,
actually,
do the honeymoon fund where you're doing it in like I don't know. Maybe I'll get some pushback on that, but I really kind of hate that.
It's your opinion. Who cares if you get fucking pushback?
I think if you put your Venmo, it's tacky.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've seen a lot of that, like a code for like a Cash App or a Venmo. I think that's tacky.
I think
that's just literally like I'm paying you to come to your wedding, and I don't like that. I'm gifting you.
What about money dances? Like, that's usually not on an actual invite, but if it happens, it happens. But people also never bring cash. So I feel like if you plan on having a money dance,
I think it's so cultural and family specific now that I think most of the families that they always have a money dance. Yeah. In fact, the wedding that I did last weekend had one of the funnest, craziest money dances that I've seen. And I knew for a fact that this was a thing because basically the family came with
what nationality was the family?
They were Filipino.
Filipinos
families always do money dances.
Like Latinos.
Yeah.
I would even
a lot of African weddings will do it.
The African weddings, they got
I did this Nigerian wedding where they were just like bop, 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 like a stripper with dollars. It was everywhere. Yeah. But this is a Filipino wedding, which money dances are a big thing. So the family had basically created they taped all these dollar bills together so it looked like a quilt or like a blanket. Have you seen that?
Yep.
It was like a blanket of dollar bills, and then they attached it to the bride and groom like a cape. Yeah. Okay. So I had never seen that before like
it's
that.
It's freaking sick.
Yeah.
We shot one in January, and they had like the crown.
Yeah, the crowns and stuff too.
The big necklaces with the candies. It almost reminds me of when you graduated like high school.
1,000%.
And you got like the candy necklaces or whatever it was.
Like a leg.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I think of, at least for the Filipinos, you know.
Yeah, I think it is similar to that. That's really funny. But yeah, I mean, I think if if a money dance is a thing for your family or your culture, probably bring some dollars so you can participate.
So if you're Nigerian, if you're Filipino or Mexican, assume that there will be a money dance.
Well, let's not speak in such generalities, okay? We're going to get canceled.
I'm just speaking from my personal experience from the past 250 weddings.
No, I know. We get canceled. All Mexicans love money.
He's a racist. Do you know I am almost every nationality?
I love it. That's funny. Okay, so now pre-wedding, do not, and I repeat, do not call the couple if it is 72 hours before with questions, especially stupid ass questions like parking or weather or things that you can find out with a Google.
Yep. Oh, you know what? I know it's going to happen. You're going to have that moment. Actually, I'm going to look into this camera for the reals. You're going to have that moment. It's going to be 2 days before the wedding. And you're going to be like, oh, shit, we got that wedding to come up. Or the wedding that's coming up in 2 days. We should like figure out what time do we need to leave. When's the ceremony at again? I completely forgot. Oh, it's at 3:00. Okay, cool. We're going to leave at 1:00 so that we're there on time. Because it's in Temecula. It's far away. And then you're going to go and look at the weather. You're going to ask Siri what the weather is. Oh, you're going to figure out you're going to need to bring a jacket. Also, you've already purchased a gift because you did it on their registry.
Right.
It's sitting in the car waiting for you right now. It's staying in the trunk for the wedding day.
Staying in the trunk. Yeah.
And you've already double checked the dress code. So now you're prepped and you're good to go.
The couple spent all that time on a wedding website to give you all of this information clearly. Be a good guest.
Yep.
Check that first.
Yep.
Barring any emergency, and even if there is an emergency, there's probably someone else you can call other than the couple. There's probably a mom or a sister.
Seriously. Just don't call the couple.
Anyone. Call the hotel that the wedding is at with questions. I don't really care. But you should not be texting
Nope.
anyone about your travel logistics or oh my god, there was one. Can you pick me up from the airport? It was the day of the wedding.
Yo,
the day of the wedding.
That guest is crazy and has never babysat anyone then.
Yeah.
Because that's insane.
It sounds like to some
That's
people
insane.
I think to some people listening like this will sound wild, but like it happens every wedding. Something of this
Think of
nature.
it this way.
So
you are a grown ass adult.
yeah.
You can read, you can provide your own transportation, and you can pay your own bills.
Yep.
Do that for the wedding day.
Yep.
Just show up and follow the rules.
Yep.
That's
exactly.
it.
Follow
Don't
their
worry.
wishes.
The planning team, if assuming they have one, the planning team can tell you where the bathroom is. Signage will tell you where the bathroom is, where cocktail hour is.
You'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out all together.
Okay. Next on the list.
Yeah.
Be on time.
Be on time.
Be on time. That means don't be late. But it also means
You better check the traffic.
you know. Well, yes. Yes, check the traffic. No, I was going to say also, can this coming from the planner, and this should mean something to you, don't be too early.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, true.
If the invite says 5, 4:45 is fine, but that does not mean 4 because they're
Don't
not
ask
ready.
where the couple is, if
Yeah.
you can go hang out.
No.
No, we busy.
They're
all
not
right?
ready. The ceremony's not set. They're doing photos. There's a million things going on, and there's a reason that the invite was at 5.
Yes.
So when we make timelines, we usually say we call it the printed invite time is at 5.
5.
And we expect kind of our earliest guest arrival then to be at 4:30. So
Yep.
for my weddings, we're ready to roll at 4:30.
Yep.
Couples hidden away, music's
Good.
playing, etc. We don't walk down the aisle till probably 5:15 or 5:30. We do all this because we know people
will
are
be
not
late.
on time. But there is still always those guests that will show up at
Yep.
4 when I'm like, I don't have anything to do for you. I can't open the door. The bar's not open. I don't, what do you want?
Yes, exactly.
Trying to send off grandma to go find like a coffee shop
No,
or something
don't.
sucks. Like I
Yeah.
hate that. So don't be too early,
Yep.
but definitely don't be too late.
And if you arrive early, don't expect food.
Yes, or drinks or anything.
If it's there, it's a bonus. So if you're getting hungry before you start the commute, you should probably grab a snack
Kyle's
so you
like,
can eat it.
Like really
I'm
spelling
serious.
this all out for you.
This is serious though. Like, I mean, if it's hot, you need to bring your own waters just in case. Like,
Yeah.
keep it in the car.
It's
Like,
true.
be a little bit. Again, we're talking about the wedding guests. You're all toddlers.
Yeah.
You're all toddlers.
Yeah.
I have to pack my kids a water and a snack
Yeah.
everywhere we go.
Yeah.
And an extra pair of clothes.
Yeah.
So you never know. So it's the same thing. Just be a little bit more prepared and be a little bit more independent than you want to be on a wedding day.
And just, and being on time, like, Nobody likes it when the guy comes in the back after the ceremony's already started, or
You
like
just gotta slide in.
we have to hold guests while the processional is happening. And again, we're already starting 15 to 30 minutes late. So that means if you're later than that,
Yeah.
you're like 45 minutes late.
You're like actually late.
Yeah, like you probably tried to miss the ceremony is what happened and just come for the reception, but like your plan backfired and now you're coming in the middle of the ceremony.
And if I guess that would be a question. If you really don't want to join the ceremony, you should probably ask the couple first because they might want you to go to the ceremony.
Or just don't.
Or just don't.
Just time better.
Yeah, seriously.
Time better.
Do time better.
Do
Come on.
time better.
Do time better. Jesus Christ,
Do
people.
better. Do better.
Okay, what else? What else do we got? We got beyond.
Okay, now that's the ceremony. You've arrived on time. You're
Okay.
sitting there appropriately dressed and with a gift, and you all good.
Okay.
You are not taking your motherfucking cell phone out during the ceremony.
Okay. Okay.
You
Yep.
are keeping your cell phone away. I don't actually care if they do or don't make an unplugged announcement. I don't care if there's a sign. You just be that respectful guest and keep your fucking cell phone away.
Damn.
I would mic drop, but
You can drop it, but then catch it.
okay, I'm not that coordinated.
Oh God. Wait. Hold it up. Hold it up. Mic drop. Yeah.
I mean, okay, I will say there are some couples that genuinely don't mind if guests take photos during the ceremony.
Yep.
This is really probably a me pet peeve a lot too,
Yeah.
but like it
Well,
does.
just like for the photographer and the
Yeah.
videographer and the
it
people that are
fucks it
taking
up.
professional photos, professional video, and just don't want to have distractions. You don't realize like how distracting something can be until it's in your face. Like when
Yeah.
you're smiling at somebody or someone's smiling at you and you notice something in their teeth. That's what it feels like as a photographer and videographer when someone stands up and takes a photo.
Yeah.
Or when someone is in the aisle and they lean over to take a photo. Unfortunately, as professional and however many weddings that we've shot, we can't stop everyone from wanting to go take a photo in the middle of the aisle.
Yeah.
And so it really sucked. The wedding that we shot in January, we had a really long indoor ceremony. Guess what? There were like 3 or 4 tios and tias inside the hallway. So like, yeah, we got like a normal like landscape photo, but
you
like
didn't
we
get
have
that shot that you wanted.
No,
Yeah,
we
exactly.
had to immediately just crop, and that's the only first kiss photo because everyone else is standing up or in the aisle.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
it hurts from like the vendor side because I want to be able to give that photo
Mm-hmm.
and I can't provide that photo because you wanted to bring out your fucking $1,000 phone
Yeah.
instead of using my $8,000 rig,
Yeah. Yeah.
to get
Yeah.
this moment captured.
And I think couples don't really like, they want to be like, oh, it's fine. But like, you're actually not going to be happy when your uncle's fat head is blocking your first kiss.
Mm-hmm.
So
And I do think too, like from the wedding guest side, if you see a photographer or a videographer, someone with a camera, get out of the way.
yeah,
Get out
just
of
not
the
just
way.
in the ceremony.
Yeah. No,
Like throughout the whole day, yeah. Because
Just-
people do it
just
during
get out
family
of the
photos
way. Mm-hmm.
a lot because they're trying to get their shot of their
Yeah,
family
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff too. The cake cutting, they're trying to like get in front. They want the
Yeah.
photo. It's definitely, it's usually the older crowd,
Yeah.
right?
I would much rather you like be like, oh, like realize I'm shooting something and be like, ooh, my bad, I'll go around. Perfect.
Yeah.
Than to just walk through and say, my bad.
Yeah.
I'd rather just stop. Even if you're mid frame, because you never know the moment that I want to capture
Yeah.
could be the moment that you finished walking through versus when you could have just stopped,
Yeah.
paused for a second and then walked back around.
Totally.
And again, the day's not about you.
Not
It's
about you.
the couple.
No.
And my job is there for the couple. It's not for you.
And it's not about your-
just be mindful.
42 Facebook followers that have to see this photo of your niece's cake cutting.
I don't care if it's 22,000. The day is still not about you, So,
That's
yeah.
so funny. Okay, next one is don't complain about where you're seated.
And this can go for the ceremony or the reception.
I guess all of the
Yeah,
above.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, we can just say don't complain, but don't complain about where you're seated, ceremony, whatever. I mean, it happens. Like I had one last summer. I remember it was a particularly fucking hot day and it was like
rough.
particularly just rough, but like there was no option for a shaded area. There was no indoor. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
we're doing
It
this
was-
at a fucking ranch. Like, what do you want? It's
There's no
direct
trees,
sun
there's
everywhere.
nothing.
Yeah. And the way that this auntie screamed at me about how hot it was and how there was no shade, and I was like, I don't know what to tell you, ma'am.
What do you? I would have just. I'd like Todd. What? Oh,
Yeah.
thank you for using your words.
Yeah.
What? What do you want me to do now?
Yeah, exactly.
Wait. Okay,
People
time
love
out.
to
Time out.
complain.
I just had a situation at the Ritz-Carlton in Laguna Niguel
Mm-hmm.
where there's a wedding guest and we're inside the reception and he's in the back corner. And it's now we're indoors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Ritz-Carlton is gorgeous outside, gorgeous views for the ceremony. But as soon as you go inside,
just
it
a
looks like
ballroom.
it looks like a normal
It's just a ballroom. Yeah.
small ballroom. Either way, I'm over there and our equipment, photo and video, like my video team and then another photographer's team is in the deep corner so that we can have like quick access.
Yeah.
And again, we're in the back corner, the furthest away from the couple. Like we can't go any further
Yeah.
unless it's out of the ballroom.
Yeah.
So we're inside the ballroom, and the guest goes, all of your equipment is really distracting, and I'm not able to enjoy this wedding.
My God.
And I'm like, it's like 5 feet away from him. Too.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, we have to come by, but like, I'm
Yeah.
not pushing on him
No.
or like in his way, even when I kneel down to go get like a camera or a different lens.
Yeah.
And I needed to go eat. It was time to eat. So obviously I'm already hangry.
Yeah.
And so I just looked at him and I'm like, I'm sorry, sir. Like I don't know where else you want me to put this.
Yeah.
There's really nowhere else in this.
We were
ballroom
hired
for
to
me. Yeah. There's really nowhere
have
else for
photo
me
video.
There's nowhere
Yeah.
else for me to put my equipment safely. And he's like, yeah, but you're really distracting me. I'm going to have an issue. And I'm like, I'm sorry, sir. I'm like, I need to go eat. But if you're still having issues, you can go talk to the coordinator
Yeah.
and see if there's something that
Yeah.
can be done.
Yeah.
And he went and complained to the venue. He went and complained to the planner. And the planner came up to me. She's like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
This guest is being an absolute,
What do you want?
you know what?
Yeah.
And she's like, are you okay if we move you? I'm eating dinner, which
Yeah.
I'm hangry. I haven't eaten anything, but I was still very respectful to the guest. She's like, are you okay? Finish your meal. We can move your equipment to the other corner of the ballroom. Same exact spot, but on the other side. So somebody else is still dealing with it, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't
But someone who's probably not as crazy could
fucking
deal with it.
complain.
Well, yeah.
Sorry, I just had to vent about that for
No,
a
that's
second. It was
okay.
so
it's
fucking annoying.
It's wild. I mean, and I guess just like all the vendors were hired to be there for a reason. If
Yeah.
you don't like it, it's not really about you.
Yeah.
And also, they're probably doing the best they can. Like last weekend was really hard. Like the buffet situation like was crazy. I will say this, like if you are seated at a wedding and they're calling up table by table to go to the buffet, it's because they don't want 225 people in line at the same
Yes,
time.
yeah.
There's a reason. You're not last picked for the buffet line
It's also a fire
because
issue.
I
too,
hate
if
you.
have-
Yeah, but I'm not like your table smells. I'm not going to let you eat. Like that's not it. We're doing the best we can.
You said table 10 and
Yeah.
we're 13.
We
What
wanna-
is going on
we
right
wanna
now?
get everybody
Yeah.
fed. It's wild. So yeah, if you were seated in a spot that's not ideal, know that more than likely it wasn't personal.
Yeah.
There's so many factors going into this day, and
Yeah.
the couple's doing the best they can. The vendors are doing the best they can.
And the couples have also thought about like where they're placing you too.
Yeah.
Like it's not, they didn't just like grab a dartboard and just throw your name somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure most couples are like really thinking about like, oh, the dynamic between these groups of people is
Yeah.
really good. We're going
Right.
to place them over here.
Yeah.
At least you got a table with people that they think that you would enjoy having dinner with.
They're probably trying their best.
So-
So yeah, just don't complain. It's not about you.
It's not shocking. It's not about you. Look at that.
The last one, which is also kind of, it's not about you, is know thy limits. When it comes to alcohol, mostly we're speaking of.
Yeah.
And again, not coming from a place of judgment, we enjoy a bev. I say get drunk.
Yeah, go
get
for it.
loose. Like get
Go
a
for it.
little weird, get a little wild. But you don't need to be throwing up.
No.
That's a limit that I would call a hard limit.
Yep.
You don't need
just
to be
any type of substance,
Yeah.
whatever it might be. Just remember the day is not about you.
Yeah.
And don't cause any memories that would be bad and regretful.
I mean, I have seen literally the puking is pretty common.
Yeah.
Not anyone's favorite thing, but pretty common. Getting caught having sex in a closet of a venue, like some guests,
probably
and not amazing, you know. Getting in fights, actually having to call the cops
Yeah.
or getting arrested. Like those are obviously extreme examples,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it does happen.
Also, you can also go on the other side though. getting ambulance or police called because people weren't drinking enough water.
Yeah.
Or they didn't have enough to eat and
That's
they passed
true,
out
too.
and they
That's true.
fainted.
Yeah.
So like, yes, you got to know yourself for like literally any substance going in or out of your body. Just be responsible.
So why do people lose their minds so much and just can't remember to be a grown functioning adult?
Dude, because they're fucking toddlers, Allie. They're all toddler. Every guest is a toddler. They don't know how to function. You know, my 2-year-old, he sometimes he doesn't do it as much anymore, but like sometimes when he gets really, really upset, like he'll start crying and like he'll almost pass out. because
Yeah.
he's not, like,
He's holding his breath. Yeah.
And I'm just like, you gotta blow in his face sometimes to like help him catch his breath. And I'm just like, yo, wedding guests are kind of the same.
I'm gonna start blowing in their faces.
I am just. They're gonna be like, what? Did you just blow in my face?
That's actually a really good idea. But the buffet line.
Did you just fucking blow in my face?
I mean,
I did. I just wanted to give you an answer and you weren't letting me respond.
that's literally it. That is my new solution to all wedding guest problems as a wedding planner moving forward. Cheers to that, Kyle.
Cheers.
And thanks for joining in today. Thanks for listening to our rants.
Yes.
We got more heated than I thought we were going to.
It's okay. But I think it's good for everybody to see, the guests specifically. Like, we take our job very seriously.
Yes.
We are hired by the couple,
Right.
the people that are inviting you.
Right.
So just be respectful, be a little bit more responsible on the wedding day than you would normally be. And just remember, the day is not
About.
you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
See you next Tuesday.
Peace.